What is up, everybody? This is Baxter Street Boys. I'm your host, Cole Wilcox, joined as always by co-host Jake Gordon and producer Griffin Rudy. It is our time for the State of the Union of the Georgia Bulldogs as we head into the bye week. We are 7-0. Some people would if you watch 0 games and just read Twitter, you would be shocked to know that. But we are 7-0. We're going to the bye week, and we got a lot to talk about. Is the world falling? Brock Bowers is down. Is our season screwed? Are we a 7-5 team? Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you're watching this show, please subscribe and please like the video. It helps us out tremendously. Please do that. Other than that, let's just talk ball. Be in the comments. Flood the comments. We'll answer all questions that are in there. We're just here to, like I said, talk about the state of the union of the Georgia Bulldogs and what the rest of the season looks like. Let's get into it.
Dawgs is the Sandler, baby!
Now he's running over people. Just steps on their face with a hobnail boot.
The freshman just ran it back to Philadelphia. No! Goal! Your sideline, and it's intercepted. Intercepted. Keely Ringo. Touchdown, Georgia.
I know I'm asking a lot, you guys, but hunker it down one more time.
All right, fellas. How we doing? How we living?
I'm great.
Living right, man.
Yeah. Now that I got the bar out of the way, past the bar. It's fantastic. I'm very happy.
Jake is
about
a
that.
certified lawyer now, baby. Let's go.
Just crazy. What a mistake this society has made. Yeah, other than that, I'm good, man. I'm just getting back into the flow of things too. I'm kind of glad we have a bye week, man. I need a little bit of a break. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's coming at a good time.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
kind of a bad week of college football, though. It's kind of a down week, I think. Slate
Is it?
doesn't look that great to me.
Yeah, Penn State, Ohio State, Alabama, Tennessee. You got Miami, Clemson. You got USC, Utah.
Maybe it's not that bad.
You got Missouri, South
I forgot about
Carolina.
Penn State, Ohio
That spread
State.
low key, kind of small. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing, Griff. You can't be that guy who doesn't like the slate one week because you only get 13 of them.
That's
So,
true. You're right.
they're
I
every game has a
retract
line.
my comment.
Every game has a line, Griff. They're all good games.
Oh, it does. Yeah. Just cover, man.
Every game has a line. So
I have to go.
I got Sam Houston State on my TV right now.
I have to go to a 1-year-old's birthday party on Saturday, and this could not have been a better weekend for that. Like,
I'm
seriously.
sure. I'm sure they'll remember that one. I'm sure they'll talk about that one for the rest of their life.
Well, it starts at 3:32, so I'll probably get to watch Ohio State and Penn State before I have to go to, and then like Alabama, Tennessee will be on the TV there, and I think that's really all the football I need out of Saturday. I kind of need a little reset. I think I'll hit the important ones, and I'll get on. I do this anyways. I'll get on YouTube on Monday, and I'll do like the best of week 8. I guess it'll be this week, and just watch all the week 8 best plays.
Those are fun to do.
Speaking
Those
of
are fun to do.
1-year-olds, let's talk about a fan base with the brain of a 1-year-old. The Tennessee Volunteer fan base. We'll talk about Brock Bowers, but
They don't deserve our attention.
I really don't want to talk about these guys. I'm going to be honest. I don't even want to.
Honestly, there's I would say the majority of people in our mentions when we posted that video were like, we don't claim this guy, which is the common sense thing to do because that guy. There are bad fans, and I joke all the time that Tennessee. It's a half joke. That Tennessee has the lowest football IQ of any fan base in the country. I stand by that. This guy is just one of those dudes who just makes him like even worse than they really are. He's every fan base has a couple of these guys mixed in and they ruin it for everybody. This dude is a complete loser. Like I don't even want to get into. I don't want to talk about it. Everybody's seen the video. I'm sure is listening to this. He's an idiot. So I don't even have anything to say about it. Dude needs to be punched in the face. Is really what it is. That's what it boils down to.
So I guess should we talk about Vanderbilt a little bit? That was just I said it when we were obviously texting during the game, and I was just like, this game is the biggest waste of my time I've ever seen. I got nothing out of that game.
it was so boring.
I got nothing out of that game. It was boring as hell. Nothing happened, and we just had our
Except
play
injuries.
Yeah, except injuries. That was all we got out of that. That was easily the worst game of the year for me. Not performance. Like just I hated it. It was at noon. I hated watching it. It was in Nashville. Like I just hated so much about that game.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have much to say about Vandy either. Well, we can get to it eventually. I kind of just want to let's just talk about the first half of the season as a whole, pretty much, because the bye week kind of comes in at the halfway point anyway. Vanderbilt doesn't really count as a game, so we pretty much played 6. Let's just see where would you take what we have right now at the beginning of the season? Let's put it that way.
We don't have a loss. Yes, before you even answer, I'm going to go ahead and say yes.
I agree. Go
ahead. Finish your thought. Finish your thought.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Like, if you tell me at the beginning of the season you're not going to look great, it's going to be pretty sloppy. It's going to be some fun games because they're close, but it's not going to be just like an onslaught. You're not going to look like some dominant team, but you're going to be 7-0. I'll be like,
can't have it any.
If we get the bye week 7, the season starts after the bye week anyway. We knew that going into the year. Everybody's like, "Oh, your schedule's so soft. Your schedule sucks." And I'm looking at November like,
this is looks like we got 4 ranked teams in a row.
Yeah, this is one of the best 4-game stretches of anybody in the country. So I whatever. It happens every year. This is literally every single year this happens. The schedule sucks. Oh wow, Georgia's schedule is better than it did at the beginning. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, well, we had one of the situations where we had people talking about. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, we got." It's funny because it came from Florida fans. I feel like Florida fans and Tennessee fans just trade this off with each other every year. They always talk, "Well, we got a ranked win this year." No, you don't. Nobody has a ranked win until the end of the year. I'm sorry. I mean, if you beat us, yeah, we'll be ranked at the. You can call us a ranked win. You can call Florida State. You could probably call them a ranked win at this point. Actually, no, maybe not even them. Stop. Like last year, Tennessee fans were puffing their chests out saying they had ranked wins over Florida, and Florida finished the year 6-7. Like. You don't have ranked wins right now. I'm sorry.
It's very tough. They cannot flex that this year. In fact, though, they did get hammered by Florida. So, but Joe Milton never loses in Florida. So,
all right, here's what we can do. Let's get some grades out. Some position groups. I'll just roll through them. You guys give me grades. First half of the season grades. We'll start at the top. Quarterback. Give me your grade.
A-.
A.
Griff's is going to be the highest out of all of us. I'm going to say A-.
Yeah, for every group.
I would say A+. I'd say A. Carson Beck has been everything that he's been promised to be.
Slow start. Honestly. Best football's ahead of him. If we're talking recency, I got to go A-. Body of work might be a little bit lower, but when it matters, he's been fantastic. So I'm going to say A-.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. There's not. I mean, we've talked about Beck on here plenty. I don't think we're gonna keep beating that horse because it's pretty obvious he's been the least of our issues. He's been very good, honestly. We have won games because of Carson Beck. Let's put it that way. Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Number 2, we'll go running backs. Running backs, give us a grade.
I don't even know if I can. I'm gonna give him just a
weird season for the running backs.
Am I including Dylan Bell?
Yeah, I guess so. That's what I'm saying, dude. It's just
Dejan's clearly been the best, man. I don't even know if I can grade these cats, man. We've had Dejan for half the time. We've had Milton for half the time. We've had Roger.
I would say a B-.
I think that's a little low. I'm going to say a smooth B.
But yeah, I don't understand where you're coming from. Dejan has been great. Dejan has, in my opinion, is an A.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm factoring in, like, dude, outside of Dejan, we really just haven't done anything running the ball. Is why
it's unbelievable against Vanderbilt. That's the best he's looked ever.
That's one game.
Like, then he got hurt. I mean,
but they said, I don't know, man. That guy has got a tough go of it to this point. Let's go receivers. Receivers, what we got?
I'm gonna give these cats I'm gonna give them a B+. I don't think
I'd say solid B.
It's just hard too because like we're talking about no lad. I mean, but like Lovett, Marcus Rosemy Jackson. It's just hard, man. I've honest to God started to purge these early season games. Like I've kind of forgot about the UAB game in Tennessee, Martin. Like I'm trying. I think I'm actively trying to memory hole that stuff. If you guys like, I don't want to think about it. I'm gonna go with B+. I think they've been good, not great.
I would say B. I'd be right around the same. I think they've been really good this year. Solid at least. Just not like super great. I expected a little more than what we've seen so far, I guess, especially from like Lovett. But who do y'all think is the best receiver on our team right now?
It's still 84 to me. I don't care. I know we're biased, but I think it's 84.
I mean, the best receiver that we've had all year has been Marcus Rosemy Jackson, like 100%.
I was He was my other guy.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. I mean, we just haven't had Ladd a lot, but I
Yeah,
still
Ladd.
If we have a third down, who do you want to throw it to?
No doubt.
Bowers?
One of those two. It's Ladd or Marcus Rosen Jackson. We went to Marcus. Yeah, Zach up in here.
Ra Thomas has been absolutely electric though thus far.
At times, yeah. We're going to talk about the second half of the season after we give out these grades. I got a lot of thoughts about the second half. Let's just try to stick first right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, receivers. I got a lot to say about receivers later on. Offensive line. This is an interesting one. Offensive line.
I don't know, man. They've done it when they've had to, but I'm a big believer in you got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So I don't know. Maybe they'll watch this. They won't. C+.
C+. I would say B- for offensive line.
I mean, it's tough, dude. It's tough because like we were ragging on him, saying this, that, and other about him. And as soon as Dejon comes in, like we're running the ball well, So it's like, okay, so what chicken or the egg? I guess is
the pass blocking has been pretty good all year too.
Very
to
good.
Me, yeah. So
Vanderbilt felt like a little bit of another step back. We were running the ball effectively against Vanderbilt. We just weren't.
Yeah, we've ran the ball well the last like 3 games, like very well.
Yeah.
So they've made improvements, and
this is me challenging them, I guess.
And we are dealing with some injuries there as well. So
yeah, Mims getting back would be huge, dude. Because Freeling looked the part. That guy might need to be on the field. He could give us like a Ben Cleveland type effect in 2017 when he came on. It was just like, oh my God, why is this guy not playing?
Yeah.
All right, I guess that covers offense. Tight ends is an A+. Like, let's just be real.
Yeah. Let's
moving on. Defense. I think it's here. Defensive line. What we got on that?
I think business as usual. I think it's an A.
They've been awesome.
As usual.
People are like, well, Georgia can get ran on. I'd love to see the numbers between the tackles. There ain't no one running between the tackles.
Ask Kentucky. That's what Kentucky asked them what that looks like.
Yeah, they tried. That's why going into that game, that was like, all right, no more talk about Kentucky. They're never going to beat us ever.
That was probably the least worried I've ever been about a ranked matchup.
Ever. That was never going to be close, man. Ever. And it's almost – that's what Florida feels like a little bit to me because that's kind of their bread and butter is run, and then just let Mertz play action. But Edge.
I think they've been better. So I'll say if I'm considering whole body of work, I can't give them anything higher than a B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
I'm kind of around that too. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's so weird because like a lot of the times you judge edge rushers on, based on like, getting to the pass, getting to the quarterback and things like that. But, a lot of times our guys just are there like to set the edge like Nolan Smith always did.
Well, we just talked about how good our interior is. Like push everybody back to the interior. Don't let people get out in space. Like if you funnel everything to our interior, no one's gonna be able to do anything.
Yeah.
This segment is kind of stalled out. Like we have the linebackers, safeties, corners, whatever. All those guys are good. We know they're good. Our secondary is elite. JDJ and Smile are awesome. They haven't played up to par yet. I don't think they're fine. They're the least of my worries. Here's what I want to read to you guys, though. And I think a lot of you people listening need to hear this, too. So this is the SEC rank of our Georgia defense, right? Jake, scoring defense. Where would you think we rank in the conference?
So this is not like points produced. This is like points allowed?
Points per game.
Yeah, points per game allowed.
Second.
First, 14. Rushing yards allowed per game. Where do you think we rank?
It's going to be higher. Sixth.
First, 91.4.
Really? I guess allowed. Kentucky helped that out. I know going into Kentucky, it was like ninth. Passing yards allowed first.
First, 171.6. Total yards per game. Obviously, both of those are first.
You have to be
interceptions.
No Tyke's tied for the lead in the NCAA, so I'll say second.
First. Third down conversion rate.
That's probably first. We did pretty well on third down.
Passes defended.
Passes defended.
Yeah.
Plays of 20-plus yards.
First in explosive plays.
How many of those have we had?
15.
I was gonna say I know of at
In
least
7
one.
games.
That fucking
20 yards.
I still think about fucking Peyton Thorne.
That's where half these rushing yards came from. So, like, what? Literally, I posted the other day, "Are you worried about our defense?" And I've had my own opinions on the defense.
Yeah.
We are first in every single category in the conference. And yes, we haven't played the best teams in the conference. I think that you have an argument that we play the best 4 teams on our schedule coming up. Although Kentucky did absolutely murder Florida. Florida's not good. So, like, there's going to be a 2-week buildup where we act like Florida's good. They're not good. We should punish them. It's like Auburn. The game will probably be close, but we should kill them.
It's 20. It's a 26 point spread or 20.
Right.
21 point spread.
23 and a half.
We're gonna murder them. All right.
I don't know. By the way, I don't know where y'all got 23 and a half from because it's definitely 20 and a half.
It is.
look it up.
That's just what somebody sent that to us, 23 and a half. But
So our defense is literally the best in the conference. They, like we said, Jake, and think about, like, do you think we're opening up the kitchen sink for Vanderbilt and for UT Martin and for all, like, there's been very, very vanilla blitz packages. We had a lot against Kentucky and we got a lot of sacks. Like, I think we're going to see a new level of defense coming out of the bye week, especially against, like, Florida and moving forward. Like, it's going to be a different level of defense, in my opinion. Am I wrong in thinking that?
I don't think so.
I mean, we've seen it before. We got to see what happens when they empty the clip before. We saw it against TCU is a great example. That was more offensively than defense.
I mean, these guys on defense are obviously ultra talented. Like, we have so much talent at defense. I mean, these past 2 years, though, we've had guys like, I mean, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, like Nolan Smith, like Nakobe Dean, like, you know, just guys that are just on another level. And so even when you're playing those vanilla packages, like, they make it look like it's not. You know,
I want to be honest. I know we're about to get into the second half later. I don't think I really ever knew what I thought. I don't really think I knew what complacency would look like, but I've seen it a little bit. I feel like we can all say that we've seen it a little bit.
Yeah, and it's like we said before, though, it's just human nature. Like, you've come off 2 championship seasons, and you're looking at your schedule. You're looking at your schedule in August, and you're like, oh.
That's why I said I wanted to play Oklahoma, man. I wanted to play Oklahoma.
But I will say, even though we say, like, we've looked complacent this year so far, I would rather it look like this, where we're having to battle through a couple games early on in the season, rather than just dog walk everyone all the way up to this point of the schedule where it's a little tougher, and then, you know, not be battle tested in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's why I said I wish we had played Oklahoma. I wouldn't care if we had lost the game. I would have rather have just played Oklahoma and, like, actually had something on the schedule to get up for, because that's why, you know, coming out flat, at least at the beginning. I think those problems might be, you know, behind us, but I don't know. You know, it's one of the things to where I knew there was a good reason I didn't take us over 11 and a half wins to start the year, because I'm not 100% sure they will go undefeated, but I can say I have less concerns than I did maybe like week 4 or something, you know, especially I think the Kentucky game, we just needed to see a full 4.
Yeah, that was huge. Yeah, so let's move into the second half now. Obviously, the big storyline is Brock Bowers is out. Does that affect us? Yes, it affects us. Like, we can sit here and say all we want to, you know, we're loaded, our tight end room's deep. Like, yeah, all that stuff's true. It should be an honor that we are probably one of, I don't know if there's another team out there that could withstand the loss of Brock Bowers and continue to move forward like we're about to do. Because let me tell you, number one, I love Oscar Delp. Oscar Delp's going to be a great player for us. I do not want to see anyone on Twitter acting like he's about to just pick up where Brock Bowers left off. That is lunacy. That's unfair to him. He's not that guy. He's not Brock Bowers. He's an awesome player. He's going to be a great player. We have not seen the best of Oscar Delp. We probably won't this year. He's going to be good for us. He's going to be a reliable target. He's a sure-handed guy. The stuff that Brock Bowers does on the football field, don't take it for granted. Like, it's out of this world. What is going to step up? Guys, I don't think you understand how good our receivers are. And that's where I want to get to. Ladd is a fantastic. He's going to be an NFL receiver for a while. Raul Thomas is a talented enough to be an NFL receiver. Dominic Lovett came here off back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Resume Jack Saint has been great. Dylan Bell is awesome. Like, these guys are the ones that's about to step up, and we're going to see the best of them. We're going to see the best version of these receivers, and I'm excited for it because these guys can freaking play. Bobo's been dialed all year. And it's not like he's only been dialed because he has Brock Bowers. He's been fantastic all year. People are wide open. They're schemed open. We have explosive plays left and right. Like we missed one the other day, big whoop. We'll hit it next time. The receivers are about to step up. I'm genuinely excited to watch them play because I think this is an awesome time for this team. Like we've needed something. We've talked about complacency. We've talked about this team has been back-to-back champs, and it's easy to sleepwalk through stuff. We've needed a reason to get up, right? We have needed a reason to get up and get going. Number one, we're going to be playing in Jacksonville against our biggest rival. That's easy to do. Now you have the whole college football world talking about Brock Bowers is down. Like, can Georgia recover from this? Are they going to be affected by this? That's enough reason to get up. That's enough reason to find some freaking motivation to freaking throw on the jersey, get ready to pop some pads, and prove that we're still the best team. And I'm looking forward to see how the team responds because I think it's going to be really, really good. Carson Beck has shown me a little bit of swagger lately that's got me confident. He's very confident. I think he's a little arrogant. I love it. He's not afraid to throw the ball at any point in time. He's a true gunslinger. I love it. And it's a gunsling. It comes out like a rocket, dude. We have good receivers. Ladd's getting healthy. We have studs. Our running game's getting going. We're going to get a few guys back in the offensive line. And I think our offense is going to make a freaking statement these next 4 games.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
I agree pretty much all of that. Like, I don't think there's any reason to be. I don't know if nervous is the right word, but just to say like, oh, we don't have Brock, like, well, we're done. Like, no, we need him if we're going to win anything of importance. But it's tightrope surgery. And something that I keep bringing up too is everybody keeps sending me the thing. I don't know why. By the way, Brett McMurphy I'm not going to say that on here. Kiss my ass, dude. Why would you say he's out for the season? Because he's not. He most certainly is not. I think y'all know what I was about to say. But regardless, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
If he played for Ohio State, he would be out for the season.
Dude, I'm getting fired up right now because, like I said, I know Kirby's low-key fired up right now because you can see him in the press right now. Like, he's very loose. He's very relaxed. I saw him cutting up with Rick today. I feel like a Bama fan, like, oh, Kirby's smiling. No, that's not why. Kirby knows that he finally has a rally crowd for these guys. Like, it's hard for him to convince these guys again that they're going 7-5. Like, coach, shut up. It's not happening, right? We had a bunch of leaders last year that kind of implemented that whole philosophy. JD, all those guys, like, they were fully on board with it. You can't just keep doing that and guys keep believing it. There's no way these guys believe they're going 7-5. They're like, look at our schedule, coach. We could literally walk backwards and go 7-0, and we did. Now they have a rallying crowd. All he has to do is flood all these messages up there. Oh, Bowers is out. What are we going to do now? What's going to happen? Georgia, can they survive this? Blah, blah. It's time to freaking open up a can, dude. And, like,
yeah,
I think it's going to be fun. I think we're about to see the best version of this team these next couple games.
Master motivator Kirby is at work right now.
What I was going to say, too, is, like, one of the things about this is we talk about tightrope surgery. Yeah. Oh, it's 4 to 6. It's 4 to 6 weeks. Like, we know this guy's not human, man. He's liable to be back.
No,
3.
I
don't think they're gonna rush him, but he's liable way sooner than anybody thinks.
No, I think we're gonna look good enough these next few games where they're not gonna have to. I genuinely believe that. I'm not just saying that. Like, I'm salivating at the idea that this team comes out pissed off against Florida and just blows them out of that stadium. There would be nothing that makes me happy. Like, I don't care if we get a personal foul in the first play of the game. I hope JDJ just blows Graham Mertz's helmet off. Like, it's one of those Lewis Cena on Kyle Pitts deals. Show some freaking attitude, dude. I don't care what happens. Go out there and blow Florida out, and then let's just get ready to roll. Because I promise you, these teams are not very good. Like, Missouri's getting all this hype. Screw them. They're not coming to Sanford and beating us. Ole Miss is not coming to Sanford and beating us. Tennessee has potentially the worst quarterback in the SEC. We should – this schedule's getting a lot of hype. We should blow these freaking teams out. Come out pissed off, make a freaking statement, and let's roll. Let's freaking roll.
Let's make this schedule look like the schedule that everyone thinks it is.
Yeah. Agreed. I think the best version of this team's coming out of the bye week. I've thought that all year. We've survived. Like I said, I would take it 7-0. We've survived to this point. The one game that everybody hyped up, we came out and it was a pissed off Georgia team that I want to see the rest of the year because there's no more easy games. I just shat on all those teams. They're not easy games, but to what this team can be, they've showed us now what they can be. I've been waiting on that benchmark all year. We saw it against Kentucky. We play like that the rest of the season. It don't matter if we have Bowers or not. It does not matter.
If Carson Beck plays like that for the rest of the year, he might be in New York by the end of it.
Dude, he's the man has great numbers this year. Like he's still fourth in the country in passing yards, and we haven't played our most competitive games yet. So there's opportunity.
You know who else? We got Florida fans bragging about Graham Mertz's numbers.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how Graham Mertz looks in Jacksonville. Let's see how he looks there. I'll hold my judgments for Graham Mertz. You know what I did
Beamer
like
is
seeing,
such a joke,
Vanderbilt?
man.
I love seeing my boy freaking Marvin Jones get in there. I saw little Damon Wilson get in there. I think Impemba got a few snaps early. Let the young guys play on the edge. Like we've seen some of the older guys what they got. We know what they have. We have some game changers, in my opinion, in those three guys. Let them get some burn because they're really, really talented. They're really good.
All right, going off of that, then let's all pick one offensive, one defensive player, like key for the rest of the year going forward. You know, big second half of the season.
Yeah, I was gonna say Marvin Jones. So there you go.
Yeah,
Marvin Jones.
I think you get him playing at the level he can play at, it's gonna be special because he's that talented of a guy. We've seen flashes of it, and then he gets hurt. Like we saw him against Tennessee. He was an absolute game wrecker. And then we get Michael on the other side. Like we need that pass rush there going forward because we're gonna be able to stop the run. You set the edge and stop the run. Now it's time to get after the passer a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's just steadily gonna rise. In terms, like his snap count's just steadily gonna rise.
Give me Dylan Everett. I love, that second corner on the team. Last year it was Kamari Lassiter all year, and he balled all year long. And this year he's that one corner, and the torch has been passed to Dylan Everett, and he's just going to continue to lock folks down all year long.
It's
and
Dalen
people are
now.
going to keep throwing at him. Dalen, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about this every year. There's always a guy to replace a corner, and it's always the first half of the year they start picking on him. Well, enough teams have picked on him, and it hasn't worked. Teams are starting to go back to Kamari now. And that's definitely not going to work.
Yeah.
Like we've seen more balls thrown at Kamari these last 2 weeks. Kentucky came out targeting him. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Bad decision.
And for all the crap that we've given Tyke Smith, he's fantastic in coverage. If he gets on the right guy, he's clamping him up.
Yeah.
There's been a few communication errors there. Maybe I don't know, just first year as a starter in the system. But those can't happen, especially in the games coming forward. But if he gets on the guy, he leads the country in interceptions. So the secondary is locked down. I'm not worried about that. My big player on defense moving forward is JDJ. I want to see the pissed off JDJ. I want to see the second half Missouri JDJ for the rest of the year. We've always had that attitude at middle linebacker with Kirby. It just so happened we had like 3 of them when our defense was just unbelievable. That was the best trio of linebackers I've ever seen.
Dude.
But we have these guys are just as talented as those guys. I want to see the pissed off versions of them, though. I want to see JD getting some guys making things happen because he comes out, he kind of sets the tone. They said it. They said it in the game. Schumann said it. He said Pop kind of sets the tone for our defense. We go as Pop goes, is what he said. And it's good to see. It's good. It feels good when you're on the same page as the coach because that's what I see too. We go as Pop goes. He gives us that pissed off attitude. The whole defense will take it on.
Well, no, I mean, like you talked about, we've had that for the past few years. Like, I think back to that Nakobe Dean play in the national championship where Channing Tindall really missed on like a coverage and it was incomplete, but Nakobe Dean lit him up after that play. And then he just goes right in there and gets a sack on the next play. Like it just like, it's such a game changer when you have a guy on the field, just, who's such a leader like that. So, if JDJ can be that going forward, it's going to be tough for other teams' offenses.
100%.
Offensively, who we got?
Ladd, 84. I got 84.
I think we're about to see the best version of him too.
He's getting healthy. We just need him to stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's difficult with back stuff. I hope he does stay healthy. That's really, that's my main priority. We got plenty of damn receivers, but we talk about, like you said, You want to go to a guy on third down and it's not Bowers, give me 84. I go to that guy on third down against anybody.
Dude,
Griff?
honestly, this may be some recency bias, but give me Rara Thomas, man. He's too elite. Like he's so talented.
That's what Hunter said too.
I know. I just saw it. As soon as I said it, it popped up. But dude, he's so talented, and Carson Beck seems to like to throw the ball to him. So I think he could have a huge second half of the season.
I agree. I think
in.
he could be a big touchdown guy for us. That big red zone target. I'm tempted to say SVP, but you kind of just know what you're going to get out of him all year, like every game. He's just one of the most consistent guys that we have. He's awesome. So I'll pass on that one. I want to see Mims back, man. Like I think if Mims comes back, he could really change what we do a lot. If I had to take a skill guy and not take one of those two, like the next obvious one is Lovett. Like we brought him in expecting to be the alpha, and I think he has that capability. We kind of saw it against Vanderbilt when Bowers went out. He was our guy. He took over. He was the dude that was getting open. So let's see him take off, man. We brought him here for a reason. We brought him and Ra here for a reason. This is the reason. Like we need some more game breakers outside of Brock and Ladd. Here we go. It's your time. We're missing one of them. It's time for these two guys to step up.
And one more thing about the defensive player, Christian Miller, man, he's been awesome this year. When he was down against I was just as worried about him being down against Vandy as I was Brock. And I know that's crazy to say, man, but he has been that good this year. So he's another one that I think we need. We need him healthy, need him back.
I'd like to see TID back too. Like
I know he's got a foot.
Yeah, he had a foot in the preseason.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We need that man back. What do y'all think?
That'd be a pretty big game changer.
Lucky had tightrope. He's back.
I think he's see anything out of him moving forward.
Yeah, no, I mean he's going to be the second tight end.
I mean, we targeted him and Sperlin at the end of the Kentucky game when Rob Vandergriff was in there. I mean, I like what they offer. They're super talented too. So
Lucky's going to be so good, man.
Then get some reps.
So, I mean, Sperlin's going to be good, but Lucky is going to be like he won't be Brock level, but he'll be that game changer we always have at tight end. He'll be that guy for us.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. I think we do a lot more 11 personnel. I think that's kind of a given. But we're still Georgia. We're still, Bubba's still calling the shots. There's still going to be 12 personnel because that's just kind of been our identity the last few years. Obviously, it's different. We had Bowers in Washington. It's pretty easy to go 12 personnel when you have those guys. But like we said, Todd Hartley's the best recruiter in the country. So it ain't like we're lacking there. We can go 12 if we need to. So yeah, I think we can see Lucky make a big play or two for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'd love to see him, split out wide, dude. That kid's a freak.
I love that that Georgia fans have kind of gotten away from the blaming Bobo thing. I feel like the past 2 weeks I haven't heard it as much, and it's been super nice because it's just such a tired take, and it just isn't wrong. Like he's been so dialed all year up to this point.
So good. He's been far better than I could have hoped for.
Yeah. It's one of those things like you'll be at a bar and you'll hear somebody say like, or if somebody like random comes up and tries to talk to you about sports and they'll be like, dude, we got to get rid of Bobo. It's one of those you don't even know. You don't say anything. You just like shake your head. You're like, yeah, dude, I know. And then you're like, I don't know.
Yes, it's a litmus test. It's almost a litmus test.
I've had so many of those conversations and I will not like just accept like them saying that. I will every time I'll be like, no, I actually like Bobo a lot. And every time they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Well,
I know by me saying like correcting them and telling them like actual knowledge, it's just going to extend the conversation." Right. So that's my sign. I'm like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." Okay.
No, it's just like a YKB litmus test. It's either you just read comments on the Twitter section or you actually watch football and understand what's going on.
I have a few of these in my bag. It used to be before he got hurt for the NBA. One of my favorite litmus tests ever. I'd ask people what they thought about Lonzo Ball. I think it was like his first or second year in New Orleans. It was that year when he shot like 40%. The year after he shot like 40% from three the first time. Yeah. The people were like, "Oh, he's a show off that can't shoot." And I'll be like, "All right, I know I don't need to."
No, Ben Simmons was a good one too. Well, he sucks. Ben Simmons has never sucked at basketball. He's never sucked at it. He can't score, but everybody's like, "Oh, what about that game against the Hawks, game 7?" I'm like, "Yeah, he had a double-double. He had almost 20-20. I mean,
you got to have a few of those in your back pocket. Yeah, the Bobo one's a good one. Beck honestly is in that category too. If they don't like Carson Beck, I'm also like, man, what are you talking about?
no doubt. It's yeah. I've stopped arguing with people on that too. You're right. It's just like, all
I'm
right, yeah,
so
you're right.
over
Whatever.
anyone who's not on Beck at this point.
My way of thinking is like if you're at that point, like if that's what you think, I would have to explain so many things to you to even get to the point of having that conversation that it would take an hour. I just don't.
It's so stupid.
I just don't feel like bothering with it.
I cannot listen to people talk anything on Beck.
All right, well, that's the state of the union. I think we're all pretty high on how we're going, or how we're moving forward. I think our best football is in front of us. I can't overstate how excited I am to see how this team responds to Brock being out because I think it's going to be awesome. Let's last few minutes here. Let's just kind of hit around countrywide. Let's just post some hypotheticals.
Should we re-up? Wait, real quick. Let's re-up playoff.
Okay.
I'm sticking with mine. I'm sticking with my original one.
I might stick with mine. No, actually, no, I'm not going to stick with mine because I had Texas in there. Let me. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think Texas is out of it yet, Jake.
No,
they're not out of it, but they have a.
I think they're going to lose again. I really do.
Really?
Not to Oklahoma. I think they're going to lose again in the regular season to somebody. That's just
yeah. That's what I figured you meant by that. But
so mine was Georgia, Penn State, Oregon. I can't remember if I put FSU or Michigan.
Mine was Michigan. I think it was Cole because mine was Michigan, Texas, Georgia, and Penn State. And I think we had all the same except you had Oregon and I had Texas. And I kept saying I wanted to.
Yeah, I think it was Michigan, Penn State. I think I left Florida State out. I liked Florida State going into the year, but too many people were on them. What's weird about Florida State? The LSU win might look good by the end of the year. LSU's offense looks really good. I think they can score on anybody.
Yeah.
But that Florida State schedule now, there's nothing left to prove. Like,
I mean, they play Duke Saturday, and Riley Leonard's going to be out. Like,
right.
They're going to dodge.
There's no other
kind
state.
Of dodge Duke.
North Carolina in the championships. You better hope North Carolina goes undefeated because I'm not convinced Florida State's going to win out. I'm really not. I don't see that team going 12.
I'm not either. I don't think they're a 12-0 team.
Well,
but I think they're like an 11-1 team, which might get them in.
Yeah, definitely could. Let's see who. If you had to put money on one of these teams to make the playoff, who are you putting it on? Oregon?
Yes.
Texas?
You don't have to read the rest.
Alabama?
Oregon? You don't have to read the rest.
Can I add a fourth team?
I think Oregon's going to win out.
Sure.
Can I add a fourth team that's probably around? I mean, they might have bigger odds than those guys.
Sure.
You say Oklahoma.
UNC.
I don't think they're in that category. You're not picking them over anybody.
Dude, I probably wouldn't pick them over Oregon, but I don't know, dude.
I think I love UNC. Like, honest to God, love them. Love Drake May. Y'all have heard me talk about Drake May. I think Alabama smokes them on a neutral field.
I don't know.
Agreed.
I don't think UNC plays a sustain. I don't think UNC plays playoff football, and maybe I'm wrong, but man,
we're talking about a team that they went to double OT with App State. They should have lost the game. App State, all they do is kick a field goal and they lose. It ain't like there's some just.
No, I 100%. But it just, I don't know. I just like UNC. I just like to see
if App State's coach doesn't call a timeout on their own field goal or on that to ice the kicker, he missed it as a calling timeout. So.
But I would say Oregon. I think Oregon will win out. I think they maybe even have the toughest schedule of all those teams you just named. Actually, they do. Probably. Yeah. Bama's
Here's
close.
one. Who are you more confident in making the playoffs? USC or North Carolina?
North Carolina. USC's losing 2 more games at least. They got
I agree.
Like 2 of their next 4.
I think I would take USC because North Carolina just doesn't. North Carolina's not going to be in the playoffs.
But they play in the ACC.
Neither is USC.
They got to win like one game.
USC won't be in the Pac-12 championship.
You think North Carolina's going 12-0?
Here you go.
Let me look at their schedule.
Cole, here's your deciding factor. UNC will be in the ACC championship. USC will not be in the Pac-12 championship. I can tell you that for free.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I was off on USC to start the year, but the Pac-12 is getting a lot of love right now, and deservedly so. But if we're talking about just teams that can score, USC can score on those Pac-12 defenses. So
that might be a bowl game. I can see. I'm gonna put a pin in that. I think that's gonna be a bowl game this year.
This is the rest of their schedule, and I mean, I think it's pretty winnable for the most part.
It's definitely winnable, but it's North Carolina.
I mean, yeah, I know, but I mean, they've played pretty well all year, and they've been playing really good as of late. So I think they've gotten better as the season's gone along. I mean, that App State game was second game of the year, but they got Virginia next, who is horrendous. Georgia Tech after that, who is also bad. Campbell, and then
Aren't you
they
supposed
go,
to be at that game, by the way?
huh?
Aren't you supposed to be at that game?
That's
Georgia
true.
Tech
October
in North
28th.
Carolina. That's the Florida weekend.
Oh, I think you were actually supposed to
I
go to
wouldn't mind
Bowling
to go
Green,
to
which,
that
by the
game.
way,
Let me tell
you
you.
missed out on because Bowling Green whipped the shit out of Georgia Tech.
Yeah, that would
They
have been
did.
funny.
No,
North
Bowling Green
Carolina,
plays Georgia Tech this weekend.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
they already
No, they
beat
don't,
them.
dude. They
Oh no,
already
not
beat
Bowling
them.
Green.
Just-
I forgot. I was thinking of
They
Boston.
played
College.
Boston College, yeah.
Yeah.
This also might have been the
North
game.
But then-
Carolina ends
then
the
after
year
Campbell-
at Clemson and at NC State. They're not
Listen.
winning both those games.
NC State stinks.
NC
I
State.
don't care. It's the last game of the year. It's a rivalry game in NC State.
Is it in Raleigh or is it in Chapel Hill?
It's in Raleigh. I
Okay,
go
then
back
no
to back. They
worries.
end the season back to back in Clemson and then at NC State.
I
They'll beat
do
Clemson.
not care. to
They'll be
honest.
11-1.
I think
They'll be
I
11-1,
think
and
North
if they
Carolina
beat
is good
Georgia-
enough to beat them. And
They'll be 11.
Yeah, they're good enough to beat them. That's not the argument. Are they going to go undefeated? No. I think no.
I think they absolutely could.
But the question you asked is who has a better shot? And North Carolina at 11-1 in the ACC championship is better than like 3-loss USC not in the Pac-12 championship.
I didn't say who had a better shot. I'm saying who are you taking?
North Carolina, then.
Is that
My
not the
answer is
same
still
question?
North Carolina. It's
Okay,
All right,
That's
yeah, same. That is yeah.
that's fine. I'll bet either one of you two right now that they do not go undefeated.
I didn't say they were. I just
I
said
mean,
they
what kind of
had a
odds
chance
are you
at
giving me on
USC.
that?
I'm not giving you odds. They're going to be favored in every game left.
Yeah, but that's like
Yeah.
an 8-game parlay.
Yeah, I mean that's 6 games. You'd have to
well,
give me
then-
some
then
kind
you
of
have no
odds on
conviction.
that.
Don't sit here and act like you're some North Carolina homer and then not put any money on it.
I'm
That's all
not North
saying.
Carolina. I mean, if I could get a line on that right now of taking them money line in every single game they play for the rest of the season, I absolutely would. And they will not be favored versus Clemson at Clemson.
I don't know about that.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. We've been doing this for too long.
Well, I mean, I don't have really anything else to talk about.
Y'all want to read?
okay,
Y'all wanna
so
read?
Wait, can we talk about real quick because we never got to Colorado for a second. Let's go to Colorado check-in. That Stanford game, man, that was tough.
Yeah, I know. It hurts me because that win total actually, if like TCU had a pulse, if Colorado State pulls it off, that actually had a chance. But it is what it is. We're
That
back down
was
to
a
earth.
tough loss. 29-0, lose.
Clemson might be 6-4 by the time they play North Carolina. By the way,
I hope so. I hope that. I hope that
they're at Miami this weekend, and then they play Notre Dame before them.
I that was another thing. Like Josh
Then,
Payton's
yeah,
talking
I mean,
about.
North Carolina might not be favored in that game, but that gives me more confidence that North Carolina could win that game. I think North Carolina's good. I think Clemson's not that good. I don't.
Also, we need to do basketball too. We'll do that in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
We'll do it.
North
We'll do
Carolina
it
talks driving me nuts. I want it on record. They absolutely could go undefeated, and they probably should. I don't think they're going to. They're North
Okay,
Carolina.
that's
Their
fine.
offensive line stinks. Their defense is no good. They have 2 really good players.
That's fine. I like UNC.
All right. That's it. State of the Union. Dogs are in good shape. We'll be back. Probably not another one this week. We'll be back again next week.